Hey, what's up? It's been a while since I've done some long-ass pool list on my channel, but I figure I'd try and go bring that back again and see if I can't stick with it this time. I'm terrible about saying things, but try and review a little bit more of the books that I'm reading other than just slapping a picture up on the channel and saying, hey, here's this book and I like it. So, without further ado, let's get this started. I got 6 books, 4 Marvel, 2 DC, excuse me. So without further ado, let's get it kicked off with X-Men Legacy number 257 by Mike Carey. Mr. Carey continues to do awesome things with this title, and this is still pretty much a decent X-read. Ben's Comics, be looking into this. Basically what we got going on here is, we have to backtrack a little bit because this is the next to last issue for this story arc. Rogue, Gambit, Magneto, and a couple others have run up into space, and they're going to bring back Havoc, Rachel Summers, and Polaris from outer space after all this fiasco they was involved in with the War of Kings, which I did not read because I'm not too much into the Marvel cosmic stuff. But basically what's happened is they caught up in between a little bit of fighting in between the Shi'ar and a race of outer space cockroaches. Problem is, both sides were being played, and they got this little cockroach named Friendless who also has the ability to project his mind onto people and force them to do his will. Really good stuff. We even got Rogue having to fly into the center of a 100,000-mile long ship, which is about to fly in the sun, and if they don't fix the core, the whole damn thing is going to go boom. We got some really good fighting sequences in his. Character stuff is pretty funny, especially a lot of the Shi'ar. And it turns out that Friendless is not the only one with an agenda. We have a Shi'ar space pirate captain who's also got to be watched out for. But all in all, X-Men Legacy number 257, excuse me. Won't get my numbering right someday. This is a damn good read. Do recommend this if you're kind of an X-Men fan and you're looking for a book that's maybe tied a bit more to Rogue. This is going to be it, and I'm going to scoot in closer so y'all can see this. Next up, one that I keep brown-nosing so much, but it's still pretty good. Uncanny X-Force, number 16 by Rick Remender. This is part 6 of the Dark Angel saga. I have to say, I'm really enjoying this, and by the way, you just see the tail of my cat as she's walking out of here. It's a really kick-ass issue, if I can bring it into focus. Basically what we got going on in here is that now we're getting down to a little more fighting, and we're racing towards the point that Archangel Apocalypse is getting ready to activate his Genesis machine. I'm saying this because basically what he's got going on is straight from the Wrath of Khan. He had somebody blow up this whole damn town in Montana is basically going to recreate the world in the image that he sees fit, and Archangel is going to be the one to rule over it. We got a lot more fighting with the 4 Horsemen in this one, and we even had the big-ass blob from the Age of Apocalypse show back up in the story, and the way that he's taken care of is... ooh, that was nasty. And, a lot of the other horsemen are pretty much having their asses handed to them at this point. I'm especially interested to see where the conclusion is going with this one. And Deadpool was funny in this. Phantom X, running around doing what he can. I really like what they did with the Confederate drummer of the 4 Horsemen. He's in a Union uniform, but the backstory on him was that he was a Confederate soldier in the Civil War who dressed up to infiltrate the Union Army. But what was done with him in here is pretty damn nasty as well. All around, this is a damn good issue. I usually would go more into it, but yeah, I'm doing Michael Bay by bumping the desk. But yeah, this is still a pretty good issue. I do highly recommend this as always. Moving along to Ultimate X-Men number 2. Right there. Written by Nick Spencer. If you decided to get out of the Ultimate Universe because the shitty Thing from Ultimate Avengers versus New Ultimates and all that. Might be a good time to go back and buy the back issues of these new series that they've been putting out. Ultimates has been excellent. Ultimate Hawkeye has been a damn good series thus far. Ultimate X-Men, very stellar for a second issue. We got Kitty Pryde, we got the Human Torch, who is actually not a mutant, but hey, he needs somewhere to go, so he's an X-Men. We got Iceman in this, and we got Rogue. I haven't read Jeff Loeb's Ultimate X, because it hasn't made it out to trade yet, or at least not that I'm aware of. So, some of what's happened to the few of the characters since Ultimatum I'm kind of confused about, but this is still damn good. They're having to deal with William Stryker, who they previously fought back in the X-Men tie-ins from Ultimatum, which were actually not that bad. Ultimatum itself I can't say that much for, but yeah, they're dealing with these Nimrods, and everybody's pretty much having their ass handed to them. We get some backstory on this version of William Stryker, and just find out how much of a despot this guy really is. Really great stuff in there. I would recommend that issue. Jumping back along to Ultimate Spider-Man number 3, written by Brian Michael Bendis, and we have Miles Morales. I haven't said this. I wasn't too pleased that they were going to try and force a new Spider-Man on us after the death of Spider-Man. Because, like, oh, we're making him half black and half Latino, and then there was the gay rumor. It's like, oh, Marvel sounded like they were trying to be too inclusive. I tell you what, I got into a lot of anger over nothing because Marvel was actually playing all their damn cards right now. The first 2 issues were excellent, and we get a little more action with Miles Morales in this issue. I kind of like this guy as a character. Hasn't quite replaced Peter Parker, or Ultimate Peter Parker in my eyes yet, but he's still done a damn good job in here. He's actually stepping into his first heroic role, rushing in and saving somebody from a burning building, and we still have this whole mutant paranoia thing going on, which is kind of fun because it's bleeding out everywhere in the Ultimate Universe, so it's not just limited to, like, you know, the X-Men. But Ultimate Spider-Man been stellar so far. I would recommend it. Can't really complain much about it. Seems to be a good week in books so far. Swapping over to DC for my last 2 books. I will say, it took me a long time to get the back issues of the new number 1s. I am reading Swamp Thing. I am reading Action Comics. Batman. Haven't been able to get it in. Even the number 1 is sold out at my store in this 3rd printing. I did get Detective Comics number 2, but I'm not going to review it because the number 1 is still sold out. So if I don't have 1, I can't read 2. But for what I have picked up thus far this week, been really good stuff. I smelled good things happening when Scott Snyder was taking over Swamp Thing, and I wasn't wrong. The first issue was pretty damn good. Here we get a lot of backstory and some twists about what the good doctor, what his role was previously as the Swamp Thing before he was brought back in Brightest Day. I have to say, yeah, my hat's not straight. Now it is. I have to say this is a damn good issue. We get some backstory on like what the Swamp Things were and the fact that there's like an entire council of Swamp Things that reside in a labyrinth of trees. Very interesting background as well. And we also have like this strange villain show up in here called Seti. The first issue was a lot of setup for this thing. It took a lot of body parts and shit like that. Still don't entirely know. They say he's building up some kind of an army, and he's like an ancient enemy of the Swamp Things that it was like a huge secret. It's kind of like what they did with Parallax in the Green Lantern movie. Yeah, and nothing ever really came of it. But, like, this thing is like this huge rotting corpse. Like, it stole the bones of this woolly mammoth from a paleontology dig, and it's making itself an army of zombies, which for some reason have their necks broken and twisted all the way around so that when they're coming at you, like my head's right here, my back's just like doing that shit. But I'm babbling on about this, but Swamp Thing 2, definitely good. I would say pick this up. Might not be in everyone's taste, but I think with me, it sits pretty well. And now coming along to my pick of the week. Actually, this might have come out last week, but hey, I just got it. Grant Morrison's Action Comics #2. The first one was kick-ass. I loved it. The second one, we get a lot more action in this one. Lex Luthor is playing this crazy mad scientist just sitting back and we got him strapped into an electric chair. We're going to see how many times we can zap him before he can't take it no more. We gas him, we cut him, we stick him, and he walks away all right. And then finally Superman takes a minute to recover when Luthor wants to go in there and talk to it, as he refers to Superman. He's not a he, it's an it. The joke's a little played out with me whenever they try and do that in a situation, but someone will have to let slide in this one. And when I say that we have a lot happen in this one for a second issue, I mean we have a fucking lot happen. The best things about this also are kind of, I'm not going to say they hurt the issue, but they're throwing a lot of references out there. We're trying to fill in a lot of characters and stuff into the story real quick. Besides Luthor, we got two other villains in this book. I'm not going to say who they are. We got one before he becomes one of Superman's regular rogues, and then we have a rather large one pop up towards the conclusion of this issue. I'm not complaining. This is terrific, and while I'm thinking about it, we also have one of Superman's allies that's introduced, who will become very important to him much later on. But, we're jamming a lot into this stuff. With the way that Morrison, I don't know if it's him choosing to do this, or if it's DC forcing him to put this much stuff in here. But this issue is kind of like making me think of reading the Star Wars prequels. You know how we had characters fall into place in the first movie? It's handled quite well here, but just we're getting a lot thrown at us. And I wonder if, the next issue is not going to continue giving, bam, 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 hit after hit after hit with a lot of the Superman mythos into this. But the issue itself is still good. Rags Morales, check this out. See this cover and then you get inside of it. That art is friggin' beautiful, man. And Grant Morrison writing. He's got a good feel for this young Superman, I think, and I really like to see where he goes with it. Had a few quips with it. Nothing that necessarily has hurt the story yet, but, we'll see what comes of it. And that's pretty much my stack for this week. Leave me some feedback and tell me what you think. I will want to intend on doing more and more of these. They may not be frequent. If I'm not going to have a comic review up every day, I'm going to have, not every day, but I'm going to have one up, if not every week, every other week. So sometimes there might be two weeks worth of stuff in my stack. And that's my comic reviews. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Comment, rate, subscribe, and all that jazz. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.